Every One Piece arc has that one character who completely carries the moment. Sometimes it's Luffy doing main character things, sometimes it's a side character who changes everything with one action. Today, we're breaking down the MVP of every major One Piece arc, both Straw Hat MVPs and the most crucial outside characters. And some of these picks, absolutely iconic. Let's get into it. Starting at the very beginning, Romance Dawn. Straw Hat MVP is Koby. Yeah, technically not a Straw Hat, but this man saved Luffy from drowning in that barrel. Without Koby, the entire story ends before episode 2. Non-Straw Hat MVP is the barrel itself. No joke, that thing kept Luffy alive long enough to even meet Koby. Respect the barrel. Fast forward to Arlong Park, one of the most emotional arcs in the entire series. Straw Hat MVP is obviously Luffy. The iconic walk, giving Nami his hat, the speech, smashing Arlong through the tower. This is the arc that defined what it means to be a Luffy's crewmate. Non-Straw Hat MVP is Bellemere. She sacrificed her own life to protect Nami and Nojiko from Arlong. That backstory still hits hard. Then we hit Alabasta, the first true saga-level arc. Straw Hat MVP is Luffy for defeating Crocodile after getting bodied twice. That final punch through bedrock is still one of the cleanest finishes ever. Non-Straw Hat MVP is Porcus D. Ace. He showed up, protected his little brother from Smoker, and reminded everyone that Luffy's got family in high places. Now, Skypiea gets slept on, but it has one of the coldest MVP moments in One Piece. Straw Hat MVP is Sanji. The man sacrificed himself, sabotaged Enel's Arc Maxim, and delivered the legendary "I needed a light" line. Absolute cinema. Non-Straw Hat MVP is Mont Blanc Noland, the core emotional anchor of the entire City of Gold flashback. Without his story, Skypiea doesn't hit the same. And then comes the arc that changed everything. Enies Lobby. Straw Hat MVP is without question Luffy. Gear 2, Gear 3, defeating Rob Lucci and commanding the declaration of war against the world government. Peak Luffy. But non-Straw Hat MVP is Sogeking. Shot down the world government flag without hesitation. Honestly, one of the most hype moments in the series. Oh, real quick, if you're enjoying this so far, subscribe to FortuNeko and drop a like. It really helps. Anyway, moving to Thriller Bark, home to one of the most legendary moments in anime. Straw Hat MVP is Roronoa Zoro. Defeated Ryuma, then took all of Luffy's pain from Kuma and delivered the iconic "Nothing happened" line. That panel is eternal. Non-Straw Hat MVP is Bartholomew Kuma. He tested the crew, went against his orders, and let them live. Without him, the Straw Hats don't make it past Thriller Bark. And that leads directly to Marineford, the war that shook the world. Straw Hat MVP is Luffy for showing Conqueror's hockey, competing with legends and proving he belonged on that battlefield. But non-Straw Hat MVP is Whitebeard. Old, sick, stabbed, and still fought the entire Marine force on equal footing. His final speech literally restarted the Great Pirate Era. Absolute legend. Jumping ahead to Dressrosa, one of the longest and most chaotic arcs, Straw Hat MVP is Usopp. Defeated Sugar twice, saved everyone from the toy curse, and earned the title God Usopp. He genuinely carried this arc. Non-Straw Hat MVP was Trafalgar Law for revenge against Doflamingo and flipping him off mid-battle. Iconic. Then Whole Cake Island gave us one of the most underrated MVP performances ever. Straw Hat MVP is Brook. Stood in front of Big Mom without fear, asked for her panties, copied the road poneglyph, and broke Mother Carmel's picture. MVP doesn't even cover it. Non-Straw Hat MVP was Jinbei for standing his ground against Big Mom's soul attack and officially leaving her crew to join Luffy. That sake cup moment? Chills. Speaking of iconic One Piece moments, I covered repeated Devil Fruit users in another video. Info card's up now. Check it after this. Back to the MVPs. And then we hit Wano, the longest arc in One Piece history. Straw Hat MVP is Luffy. Unlocked Gear 5, awakened the sun god Nika form, and defeated Kaido in one of the most insane final battles ever. Non-Straw Hat MVP is Momonosuke. He sacrificed years of his life to become an adult so he could hold up the island and fight Kaido as a dragon. Genuine hero moment. And finally, Egghead Island. Straw Hat MVP is Luffy for holding the fort down against god-tier threats. Non-Straw Hat MVP is Dr. Vegapunk for dropping some of the craziest lore bombs in One Piece history. The revelations in this arc are still shaking the fandom. So yeah, every arc has a hero. Sometimes it's the main character, Sometimes it's a dog, a barrel, or a guy asking the right question at an execution. Which arc had your favorite MVP moment? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe to FortuNeko and hit the bell icon. And watch this video next. It's on your screen right now, and honestly, it's the perfect follow-up. Catch you in the next one.